What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Devil's Details Diecast Custom Build Series. And this is going to be a special build series. I am entering a custom contest for the company Dead Sled clothing company. Their theme is all Hearse themed clothing and such. I had received this Nestle Butterfinger 71 satellite station wagon from Eddie Bennett a while back. And at first I was just going to murder it out. I was just going to do a flat black version of it. And kind of got tired of doing that, and I saw the contest online through actually Keith at Outlaw Speed Shop. He entered it last year, and he's entering it again this year. And I had been wanting to do a hearse, and here we are. So what I'm going to do is take this bright yellow Butterfinger Nestle 71 satellite and dead sled it up into a hearse. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I want to extend the front end and put a bigger motor in it and drop it. It is pretty low as it sits, but the rear end, as you can see, has a little bit of height, so I want to try to get it a little bit lower. I'll be keeping the rail riders. I'll probably just flip them around and get rid of that blue line and go from there. So that's the plan for this car. We'll see how it comes out, and I'll take you along the journey, so stick around. So we were cruising along here with our Dead Sled hearse build. Had a nice wooden coffin made, had all my skulls attached, had the interior grayed out, had the windows blacked out, had the car blacked out, had the engine cover blacked out, had the tires flipped around so they were blacked. Everything was going swimmingly until I talked to Keith over at Outlaw Speed Shop, and we got to discussing the rules of the build, and started going back and forth on if the car actually had to be a hearse first. And we weren't really clear on it, so I contacted the people over at Dead Sled Clothing and Apparel, and lo and behold, yes, they confirmed that the casting had to be a hearse casting to start off with in order to qualify for the judging. You could enter anything you wanted, but to be qualified for the judging, it had to be a hearse. So that threw my plans right out the window, as this car is obviously not a hearse, but a 71 Plymouth Satellite. And then I was like, what am I going to do now? I have all of these skulls that I glued down, painted. They were just ready for weathering. Did all this work on the station wagon itself, and was pretty bummed out. One, because I didn't have a hearse casting, and two, I didn't want to waste all these skulls. Since they are pretty expensive, I use them out of my Citadel Skulls kit. So these aren't just random 3D resin printed, which would have been a lot cheaper and I wouldn't have cared. So I got to talking with the Dead Sled people a little more, and he did say that I could use an Ecto 1. So that's what we're going to do. So if you remember my video recently of the black Ecto 1s that I was doing with Kenny Terry, you remember I said at the end of the video that my Ecto 1 was not completed. And being that this hearse is due at the end of July, which isn't, it's pretty far away still, but this is already black, already stripped down, already finished, and I didn't put the decals on it yet. I figured I can always get another Ecto one later on and paint that black and do the decals and do my Ecto one later, because I'm not really in a rush to have a black Ecto one in the collection. It's just going to sit on the shelf, and I do have a build deadline to work with. So what I'm thinking of trying to do is maybe cut the roof off the satellite and graft it to the top of the Ecto one. Although now that I'm looking at it, this is the first time I'm looking at it after I spoke with Dead Sled. Wasn't in the shop all weekend. But now that I'm looking at it, I don't think it's going to be an easy transition to just cut the roof off the satellite and glue it onto the Ecto one. I'm really trying to preserve these skulls, but what'll happen is I'll basically be ruining the satellite casting to make the Hearse casting, and I'm really only doing it for the skulls. So maybe I'll just keep the satellite as a Hearse build, submit it anyway just for fun, and then just work on the Hearse, you know, the Ecto one as the Hearse. And I do have more skulls. Just sucks. I'm glad I know now though, because I would have submitted this and not been qualified to win the contest, which would have been worse. So, in any event, we're going to continue on the build and see what we can come up with for the Hearse, for the Ecto one. Kind of bummed because I feel like it's not really an originality contest when you're working from something that was already a Hearse or an ambulance. I mean, I think it's more of an originality contest to make something into a Hearse. But that's the rules of the contest, and that's what I'm going to stick with. So stick around and see what we come up with for the Ecto one turning into a Hearse.
One eternity later.
And here it is, folks. My entry into Dead Sled's Hearse build. This was a long process, and probably skipped a bunch of steps in this video, but this video would have been way too long. Had a lot of trouble with this one here, but in the end, I think it came out exactly how I wanted. And if you remember from the Voodoo build, that was my first try with all the skulls. And of course, I went ahead and did it here for the Hearse build. Grizz printed me out some Landau bars. Other than that, it's just flat black paint, which you can already tell is picking up all the dust. As much as I keep cleaning it, it keeps coming back. Did some detailing on the front there with the amber turn lights, the red brake lights. Damn dust! Can't keep it off of the flat the flat black paint. Eliminated the back doors, eliminated the back windows. And there you have it. So I already did send these pictures off to Dead Sled. They will be doing the judging, so luckily it will not be a popularity contest. You know, even if I don't win, I had a blast doing this. There's a lot of good entries. I've seen some of them already. And, you know, I'm just looking at it as the publicity and a chance to get the channel out there. And a chance to make a cool build. So I hope you guys enjoyed the trip. It was a long one. Hope you stuck around for the whole thing. And I hope you enjoy the results. So stick around for some glamour shots at the end. And we'll see you on the next build. Be well.